I've talked to my coworkers about cosplay. As with any subject, you know, whether it's like or any hobby, like sports or whatever, if it's something that you're passionate about, you're going to share it with people that you're around, whether it's your friends or your coworkers or even like people you meet on the street. Because sometimes I'm walking around like this and people are going to stop and they're going to talk to me and ask me, what's this about? I've had that happen. I was with my cosplay group. We were at an event and we went ice skating, and this guy actually like stopped me and he was like, looked at me and he said, why are you dressed up like this? What is this? What are you doing? Why are you dressed like this? And so I took that as an opportunity to teach him about cosplay, you know, that I'm dressed as one of my favorite characters, and there are other people, you know, in our community that, you know, like think of a movie that you like, you know, whether it's Lord of the Rings or it's, you know, one of your like X-Men or something, you know, like pick a movie, or Frozen, which is really popular with the younger crowd, and you know, pick a movie and, you know, any of those characters you can become. And so I was telling him about these things of, you know, that this is kind of a new world, you know, not as many people are familiar with it, but, you know, it's something that's really amazing. And I like opportunities like that where I can teach, you know, people or, you know, about this world of cosplay, whether it's people I work with or the random stranger or even my parents. For the cosplay girls, my biggest advice, especially for the younger crowd, but this really applies to everyone, is that there is a lot of pressure being a female cosplayer to be like this really sexy or this really like, you know, to have the exact right costume or to just have all your stuff exactly as it should be. And I would say for the younger generation that just, you know, be careful with that, because if you're very young, you know, you're 10, 12 years old, then you may want to think about whether it's appropriate to, you know, walk around in a little bikini and things like that. We talk about like, how is it being a female in the cosplay world? Well, if you're younger, those guys may not realize like how old you are. So they may say things to you that are inappropriate. They may hit on you. They may do these things, and you got to be aware of that, you know, all cosplayers love admiration. They love it when someone appreciates their work that they put in and everything like that. But then at the same time, if you're a younger girl, you need to kind of take that into consideration and be careful with that. Don't feel so intimidated that your outfit or, you know, everything has to be just right, because there's always room for improvement. Even with this outfit, there's room for improvement. You can always make something better, but it's a matter of, do you want to? But you should just feel more comfortable with the fact that you are being what you want to be. You know, you're being the character you want to be, and not be overly concerned with what people think you are being, or if, you know, you're going to get people who like your costume and you're going to get people who don't like your costume. I know of a girl who, she went to a con and her hair wasn't the exact right color for the Hatsune costume, and basically she had people coming up to her telling her, your hair is not the right color. And, you know, you're going to get some criticism, but you're also going to get some praise. And really, if you're doing it for the right reasons, to have fun, meet people, and experience something that's really wonderful and real, at the same time, a crossover with fantasy and lore, you know, then just take it all in consideration. You know, don't get overly hung up with the details. You know, sometimes it's best to just start simple and work your way up, especially if you're a new cosplayer. You know, don't pick, you know, this super elaborate cosplay that's going to have like all these extreme details, and you got to have like a very elaborate prop and all of that. Start with a more simple thing, something you can, you know, either make yourself or have like your friends or parents help you with. You know, this top, you know, for example, you know, I didn't have to like make this top. Where you are now as a beginner cosplayer, you know, give it time, do more cosplays, get further along. You're going to get better and better. You're not going to be, you know, what you are today as a cosplayer is not what you will be. So don't be like feeling really intimidated with that.